I'm pretty excited because we've never done this before, where a couple has met on a very reputable website, ashleymadison.com.
No!
So let's do this.
That's for cheaters.
Welcome to the show, Ashley. Oh, wait.
What?
Her name's Ashley.
Oh, Jeff,
middle name Madison.
you got me all sorts of
Oh,
riled
shoot. I
up.
must have screwed that up in my notes.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
I apologize.
Interesting.
I had that as where you met. I didn't realize that was your name.
Still would have been really interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this isn't going to be as exciting as I thought.
Okay, so-
Unless, Ashley, did you perchance meet your special someone on Ashley Madison?
Are you rich? Do you own it?
No, I didn't, you guys. My
Okay.
name's Ashley.
That's good. So you're both single, you and the other person.
Yeah, we're both single, and we met on the app called Hinge.
Ashley Madison's nerdy little brother. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
That's how I like to think of it.
Okay.
So what stood out about Brian on Hinge?
Brian was really sweet. Like, see, I'm used to really flashy guys, like narcissists, you know, show what kind of cars they have, all the stuff they have, and I'm super over that, and I'm not that girl at all. And Brian was really sweet.
Okay. When you were looking for Brian, you were looking for something different than what you had been dating, it
Yeah.
sounds like.
A man who doesn't
Yeah.
drive a car.
No. Or maybe owns a Prius.
Maybe.
You know?
Sure. Tell us more about this simple man, Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in his profile, I mean, the things that stood out to me, he believes in monogamy. He said, like, what his date would look like. And he said it would be to have a picnic in his living room with candlelight. Like, he just seemed light and sweet, you know,
Yeah.
really down to earth.
Like a romantic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he sounds just like you said. Absolutely.
Cheap, yeah.
Yeah.
That's my
So did you hit him up or did he message you?
I messaged him first, but then we just got along right away. He wasn't pushy. He just felt
Okay.
like a safe guy.
All right.
Okay.
That's good.
So what's a safe date with Brian
Well,
look
they
like?
definitely wore seatbelts.
Yeah.
It was really cute. So it was my idea for the first date because I volunteer at a zoo.
Okay.
And
cool.
I thought that we could walk around the zoo and we could get to know each other and talk. And at the same time, we have fun things to look at.
And plus, it's a chance for you to like show off some knowledge, right? Because I'm assuming you
Yeah.
know a lot about the animals there and how the zoo works. And if there's awkward silence, there's always something to talk about.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we're speculating a lot over here, but tell us how it actually went, Ashley.
Yes. And because I'm a volunteer, I got him in for free.
Ooh.
Oh, that looks good on you.
Got the hookup VIP rope. Here
Yeah.
we come.
Yeah, but because of that, I had to wear my vest with my name tag and
Oh,
like
that's
were
how you got him in
working.
for free.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So as we're walking around, we were having fun. The parents and the kids would stop. Like if they needed something, the parents would ask me questions about the animals and I would answer the questions. And then he
I
could
mean, do you maybe think he could find that a little bit annoying that the date keeps getting paused for you to answer other people's questions?
I don't think he was annoyed because if he were annoyed, then he probably wouldn't be the kind of guy I would want to be with.
The kind of guy that like wants your attention.
Well, I mean, like she's doing her thing. Like he knew going into it that that's what you were going to do. None of this was a surprise.
Yeah, but it probably feels like less of a date, more like a
Yeah.
tour. At
Yeah.
that
That's a
point.
good point.
So,
But-
I mean, were you able to like connect in a romantic way at all?
Yeah, but I believe that you should really get to know someone as a friend first. And then from that, if we felt like we had mutual respect for each other, then something could come from it. But I thought this was a really sweet way to let him into my life.
Yeah.
And he liked it, you guys. Like, it was cute. Like, I know he had fun.
Yeah, but he's
Okay.
not calling. I mean, you're with us. Like, why isn't he calling you
Yeah.
back?
Yeah.
though?
Well, I mean, yeah. Were there any awkward or moments that stood out from the date that could have been a red flag?
The only thing, so we stopped at, I don't know if you guys know this animal called capybara.
Yeah, they're
Um,
super cute.
Are those
Oh my
ones kind of like
gosh.
koalas? Am I
yeah.
thinking
But
right?
they're
I'm
like
thinking
ground
of.
koalas.
Yeah,
They're like
okay.
little tiny bears.
Yeah, it's a South American animal. And we were there and we were looking at them and he said he had spent time in South America and,
Cool.
we just were having a conversation. This, like a 9-year-old kid was there with their parents. So I just challenged, Brian and the 9-year-old kid to see who could spell it.
Oh.
Put him on
cute.
the spot. How did he do?
He didn't win. The 9-year-old knew how to spell it, but he didn't.
Oh, sounds like you should probably date that 9-year-old. He sounds like more of a catch.
Wait, why was that awkward though? Was he actually upset that he got beat by a kid?
You know what? It's just the only moment that I thought maybe he felt out of place.
I could see that being kind of emasculating to me if my date challenged me to a spelling contest against an elementary school child.
Well, it's supposed to be fun and entertaining.
Yeah,
I
but
don't-
after talking to kids all night over him, I'd be done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So how did things end with you and Brian?
Well, we walked around a little bit more, but he said he had to leave to go to his niece's piano recital.
To do more kid things, so he obviously doesn't hate him.
True.
Yeah.
We didn't have to like battle pianos with her. He just had to sit there and listen.
Yeah, and what
dueling
key am I
piano.
playing it, Uncle? No, it's not G, it's D.
I mean, it's a valid reason to leave.
Yeah, it matched the personality of this person that I'm going out with. So I walked him to the gate and we hugged and it was nice. And he left and I haven't heard from him.
Have you texted or called?
Yeah, I have, but I don't want to seem like kind of crazy. So
Yeah.
It sounds like there was not a lot of romance on the date. It could have been fun.
But
You
that's
guys could
not
have
a
had
reason
good
not to
time.
call someone back at all.
I don't know. If
Who
you don't
wants to
feel
be
a
in the friend zone?
If you don't feel a romantic connection, that's why you don't call people back. I'll see
Exactly.
you
That stuff
later.
would never happen on Ashley Madison. So,
Exactly. You would have been kissing the capybara.
well, I mean, maybe there was something else that we don't even know about yet. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah, that's true.
let's give Brian a call. We'll play a song first. We'll come back and then we'll get your second date, okay?
okay, thank you guys.
All right, hold on. Quick recap of Ashley's first date with Brian, which included an hour and a half of walking, a detailed zoology lesson on the South American capybara, and, of course, a romantic spelling contest against a 9-year-old boy.
Oh.
Man, that is hot,
Oh,
Jeff.
yeah.
I mean, when you recap it like that.
That's because Ashley took Brian to the zoo where she volunteers. And so they walked around together. She had to answer a bunch of questions to children and parents along the way about the different animals. And it ended with Brian saying he had to go attend his niece's piano recital. Now he's not calling her back, which I don't know if you know this. I know you're an expert on animal behavior, but that's very common for the modern male Homo sapien.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Oh, you really are an expert. Wow. We're going to do our best to get Brian on the phone and get some answers for you. How you feeling?
I'm feeling nervous.
Yeah.
Like I know he's ditching me, but I just don't know why.
Right. You know, the thing that I would imagine is hard for you is that this is the first time you're trying to date, like, basically a nice guy, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
sometimes the nice guys are just as big of jerks as the
True.
ones that aren't
Absolutely.
considered nice guys. I mean, that's just the hard lesson of it.
I consider myself a nice jerk.
Yeah. So, just don't be too disappointed or like give up hope or anything after this.
That's good advice.
You
Brooke.
know?
Brooke, you're trying to give her a lot of hope, so good work on that. Let's try and stay as optimistic as we can, but we're going to dial his number and see what Brian has to say, okay? Here we go.
Okay.
Hello?
Hey, is this Brian?
Yeah, who's this?
Hey, what's up, Brian? My name's Jeff from the radio show Brooke and Jeffrey in the Morning.
Sorry, I don't know the show.
That's okay.
Dude, I barely know it either, and I
Yeah,
work here.
yeah.
It's all good, brother.
Whoa,
Yeah, no, that's
that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are a whole show.
yeah, there's a bunch of people in this room, and we're all very interested in a date that you went on recently with one of our listeners named Ashley.
You remember Ashley?
Was it-
That's weird.
Was that you or is that your stomach?
No, I think he's just shocked. I'd be shocked too. Like all of a sudden we're talking about this. I get it.
Yeah.
We get it.
Well, it's just. Wait, are you saying that she reached out to you guys?
Yeah, it's part of a segment that we do called a second date.
Well, we haven't had are you guys trying to find out why I don't want to? I mean,
Yeah, we're hoping to get her a second date with you because that's what she wants. And she's a little bit confused about why it's not happening yet.
well, it's kind of weird what she did. Did she tell you about it?
Yeah.
I thought it was cute.
We thought it was sweet. She said that she took you to the zoo where she volunteers and she volunteered while on the date as well. So she had to answer like a lot of questions and stuff. But she thought you had a great time
I mean, she did tell us about what happened with you and the 9-year-old kid.
in the
and
spelling
the
bee.
spelling
Yeah.
mishap.
Oh, yeah, that's cute.
Yeah.
Oh.
You just let him win, though, right?
Yeah.
Because you're a good guy, and that's
Well, when you can't spell foliage.
yeah.
Foliage.
Well,
I
I don't know.
I thought you were trying to spell capybara.
Well, she gave me a few words, but I'm not really a great speller, so I had trouble with them.
Oh,
Okay.
that's a bad challenge.
That's fine.
then.
She was just telling us not because she was still judging you about your spelling, just simply because she was like, oh, that's the only weird thing that I can remember that
Yeah.
happened.
She was just trying to have fun with you in that moment. It wasn't meant to embarrass you or
Yeah.
anything.
I mean,
Was that like a deal breaker for you?
there's not really any deal breakers. The main thing was that she was like a news source. She was giving out misinformation.
When,
Misinformation.
Sorry, I don't know why you
Like-
have to put down news sources. Journalists work really hard in this country, okay?
Yeah.
Well, please don't call yourself a journalist. That's
Well,
that's
I'm just
demeaning
saying-
to actual journalists.
I
out
agree
there.
with you, but I went to journalism school and I know anyway.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get all
okay.
my
A lot of
info
people
from
did.
the podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
You should have backed off.
But look, I mean, Brian, we're just trying to help get some answers here because you said that she was giving out misinformation. Do you mean giving misinformation to you or just in general to everybody?
To like the group that we were walking around with.
What do you mean? Like she's like,
Well-
that's a capybara and it wasn't a capybara. Like, what are you talking about?
One of the kids asked about this beetle in one of the displays, and the display itself wasn't labeled, and so she just called it a pirate beetle. Kid's like, what? And she's like, yeah, aye, beetle.
Okay,
How
I
do you
like
know
that.
that's not
yeah, is that
real?
not
Yeah,
true?
I believe it. I don't even know what the beetle looks like.
He knows his beetle species.
I just thought she was trying to be funny, but this kid's like trying to learn something. So I guess the reason why it hit me so hard was because I used to go to the zoo as a kid with my parents. So I was like, but he's really might be like genuinely curious about what that thing is.
Oh.
So you were upset that she made up a name of a beetle and instead of just saying, I don't know, is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, but this is not just one time. We were walking by porcupines, and she's like, oh, those are arrow pigs.
Arrow pigs. Oh, they should be called
That's a better
arrow
name,
pigs.
actually. Yeah.
I mean,
love it.
come on, everybody knows that was just a joke, though.
No, these kids were legit writing down arrow pig.
Oh,
no.
she never corrected them?
I mean, it's
Does she
funny,
know
but-
what they actually are?
Yeah, maybe she doesn't know.
We walked by a praying mantis,
Yeah.
and she calls him a wobble stick.
Oh, that's kind of cute.
Yeah. I mean,
She's really good with nicknames. I mean,
Yeah.
There are animals should be renamed at this point. They've
Yeah.
lived thousands of years.
I get that was a little bit weird and you were worried about the kid's education, but like how does that affect you romantically, like how you bonded with her?
Well, I'm a stickler for this stuff, so I don't really respect that sort of stuff.
oh.
Like I get if you're trying to be funny, but if you genuinely don't know, be like, I don't know. Let me go find somebody who does. That's my job.
I don't think that Ashley has any idea that you felt this way during the
No.
entire tour of the zoo.
Listen though, genuinely, she's awesome. I would love to be like, hey, look, like let's do a second date, but
Well, that's perfect because now you can do that right now. She's on the other line listening.
I think he had a butt that you didn't listen to.
I didn't want to
don't
hear
need
that.
it.
I didn't want that part.
Good move, Jeff.
Ashley,
I like it.
talk to Brian.
Hey, guys. Hey, Brian.
hi. I had no clue
you're
you were listening. I'm so grateful. that
Yeah. You're upset because I'm having fun with kids?
But you called a lobster a dragon shrimp. Was that real?
That's clever.
Why does it sound better now?
I know.
It does.
You should be in charge of naming all the world's animals,
Either
Ashley.
that or you really need
Thank
to
you.
write a kid's book.
I do think it's worth asking though, Ashley. Did you really not know the names of the animals because you're a volunteer,
yeah.
or are you just having fun
It's
here?
a lobster. Who wouldn't know the name of a lobster?
Some people have never seen one
Okay.
before.
Yeah.
Ashley.
I know the name of the animals, but like some of them are made up and I just don't think it's that big of a deal. Like if I can get a laugh out of these kids while they're at the zoo, that makes me feel good, you know? So it's not coming from a bad place, Brian.
I mean, these kids get a laugh, but they do flunk out of fourth grade, so it comes at a
They'll learn
price.
the hard way.
I know it sounds petty, but I just had to say something because it bugs me.
Yeah.
Brian, you're being like a grumpy puss.
Well, oh, is that a new species?
You're like a lynx that you can find at the zoo.
Hey, that's
Oh.
not a real animal.
Lynx are real.
What? Now you're confusing
Oh, wait,
me.
lynx are real.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're big cats. Yeah.
But hold on, all seriousness, what is he supposed to do? Like call you out in the middle of a group? Like, it's going to make you look unprofessional.
Yeah, I'm not going to stop you in the middle of your thing. It just bugged me, and I'm sorry for not talking about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice
Okay.
guy.
Yeah, that's valid.
And that shows that he respects you at your job,
Yeah.
even if you're doing a terrible job at it.
I mean, I think you're making the zoo fun, Ashley, but Brian does bring up a good point. Like, maybe you should also include correct information. Like, can you
Yeah.
do both for the kids?
Yeah, I mean, I can do that. Maybe Brian should be volunteering at the zoo.
Oh. You're like a comedic duo. You get the punchlines and he brings the info.
Oh, I like it.
You know what
yeah.
I mean?
It's the Ashley and Brian show.
We can actually set that up for you guys right now and send you on your second date and pay for that date.
Well, you know what? I don't think that's a bad idea. What if I called them penguins and then she called them ISIS chickens black and whitest?
Okay,
You know,
that,
You guys have to work on your shtick a little
I
bit.
think
You should stick with the names.
Yeah, leave the names to him.
Yeah.
I think
That sounded like a
or to her.
terrorist group.
Yeah.
I'd actually just call them ice chickens. That would be funnier.
Oh, that is
I
fun.
like that.
That's cute.
All right, but I'm hearing the connection happening. Are we doing this? Ashley, are you up for it?
Yeah, I'm up for it.
Okay. Brian, is that a yes from you?
Second, datus approvus.
Oh, I see.
Oh,
He's
okay.
bringing the science
All right.
to the. See, that was a
Wonderful.
science
That
term.
That was still a yes,
All right.
though, right?
That is. We're on.
Yay!
Yeah.
Successful second date. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.